everyone! Welcome back to the Divine Feminine Energy channel. My name is Lynn, and on this channel, we talk about all things regarding stepping into your feminine energy, self-improvement, womanhood, and spirituality. So yeah, I am glad to see you here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about tiny micro habits that can help you step into your feminine energy. Feminine energy is all about reconnecting to this softness in your life. The feminine energy is the archetype of the mother. Even in astrology, it's actually our moon sign, our moon energy. And to step into your feminine energy is to be allowing yourself to receive, to slow down, to nurture yourself, to connect with your emotions, to connect with your intuition. But since we live in a relatively hyper-masculine society, we often find ourselves in a more masculine energy. So the masculine energy is where there is all this emphasis on go, 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 very action oriented, where the feminine energy is rest and slowing down. The masculine energy is movement and taking action. Masculine energy is that Mars energy, so to say. It's this active energy, like I have to chase towards something, I have to go do something, I have to be productive, I have to be disciplined. And mind you, in order to live a very good balanced life, in order for your feminine energy to live up to its full potential, we still need our masculine component because, it's all about balance. It's about the yin and the yang within yourself. But in today's video, I'm going to show you little micro habits that you can do every day that don't take up a lot of your time, that will shift you back into your feminine energy, to slow down, to shift you back into that energy of receiving, of femininity. Because as much as we may need both our feminine and our masculine energy, they're often out of balance. A lot more people act out of their masculinity. And there is so much power to access when we're actually in our feminine energy more. We can create that softer life for ourselves, and we can allow things to come to us, to attract, to deeply manifest, and to deeply emotionally connect to the things that we're doing. And who wouldn't want that? So the first tiny micro habit to step into your feminine energy a little bit more is to keep a journal. And it doesn't matter where or how you do that. Personally, I just journal in my Google Drive. I just have my Google Drive, and every day I journal a little bit. And why is journaling such a powerful tool for stepping into your feminine energy? Journaling can be like a super simple way to tap into how you're feeling, to stand still for a little bit, to be present. And feminine energy is all about being present. So every day before you go to bed, or every day when you wake up, to write something in a journal or on your computer, or even saying it in your head if you really cannot find the time. How am I feeling? What is my intention for the day? Just take a little moment every day to check in with yourself. Is you consciously shifting back into your feminine energy? So the second micro habit to allow you to shift more into your feminine energy is to become okay with asking for help. Feminine energy is all about receiving. It's about doing a little less instead of doing more. But we often find ourselves in very hyper masculine energies where it's like we become so hyper independent because it's like, I need to get something done. I need to do it now. I don't want to sit around and wait for people to come help me out. Like, let's do it myself. I can do it better anyway. To stand in your feminine energy is to give yourself a little bit of that power back of, I don't have to do everything by myself. And to learn to receive is such a powerful habit to implement for yourself. So asking for help in any way that you can, like whether it's at a grocery store, or if that's too public for you and you don't want to ask someone to get something for you, you can practice it within your family. Like, hey, can you help me out with this? And as well as in like a romantic relationship, we often see women become so hyper independent, and then there's a lot of anger or resentment when it's like my partner never helps me out. I always have to do everything around the house myself. Haven't we heard that saying from our moms or someone at least once? Like, I have to do everything alone. And then you try and help them and they're like, get away, get out of my kitchen. And it's kind of that energy of they want to be in their feminine energy, but they're so accustomed to being hyper independent that they kind of push other people into a more passive energy because they're hyper masculine at that time. So if you find yourself sometimes being in that role of like, I do everything myself, or you want to attract more effort from your romantic partners or friends, step back a little bit, ask for help, or step back a little bit, and it will shift you back into your feminine energy, and it'll shift other people to stand in their masculine energy around you a little bit more. The third micro habit for increasing your feminine energy is arguably the most important one: gratitude. It's a tiny micro habit that you can implement in ways that is very simple, right? If you don't feel like bringing a journal into everything you do, you can try to implement gratitude by the moment you wake up or the moment you go to sleep. Can you name 3 things that day that you are grateful for? For me, I have everything in my Google Drive. Like, I like handwriting, but sometimes I'm lazy. I'm just like typing, it goes faster, you know? So my gratitude, I do this before bed, and it's like, okay, 3 things every day that I'm grateful for. And it could be as elaborate as like, I'm grateful for the people in my life and everything they do for me because today we had such a great day. And sometimes that is what you're grateful for in that day. And sometimes it's like, I'm grateful that the sun was shining today and that I am in good health. You know, there's always something to be grateful for. And to make gratitude a daily practice will shift you right back into your feminine energy because it will allow you to be more present. Often, when we're in such a hyper masculine energy, we forget about gratitude because it's like frustration of what didn't go well, or like, but I have to do this tomorrow and I have to do that. And yes, okay, yeah, I did this thing, but I could have done it better. So, trying to be very mindful of that and every day shift back a little bit more into your softness and name some things you're grateful for. That leads me to the fourth micro habit to increase your feminine energy. And it is something I already dropped a little bit throughout the video: slowing down. You know, that is the number one embodiment of the feminine. She's not in a rush, she's not chasing, and you can implement this in many ways in your daily life. Like, for me, something I did that helped me slow down, because maybe you're into astrology. I am a Cancer sun, but I have a Gemini moon and Mars. So everything in my mind goes at 100 miles per hour. And I can have these nervous tendencies as well. So slowing down, like if I'm filming something, like not talking too quick, taking my time to explain what I want to explain. But another very easily implemented way of slowing down is when you're walking, for example. How often, when you're walking, do you see people trying to rush past each other, rush, trying to get somewhere, and they're not really soaking up the environment around them? So, when you're walking, like, how can you slow down? Can you listen to the birds or smell whatever the trees? Can you be present with what's going on around you? And tiny micro habits like slowing down your walk, slowing down your voice. When you wake up, can you take, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, to slowly get into your day? Because the way that you start your day, we activate our brain to be in that state for the rest of the day. So often when you're rushing right away, you'll find yourself in a more hyper masculine state than if you consciously take time to slow certain actions down. That leads me to number 5, turning off some distractions. And that goes hand in hand with number 4, because as I walk in the park, for example, or I go to the city, like the amount of people that I see having to listen to their music or having to listen to a podcast, having to be with someone else around them to chit chat, to go do something, is very high. And again, that's not a judgment. It's just that that is a more masculine way of doing things, to constantly have stimulation of the mind going on. And if you want to shift back into your feminine energy, a really good way is to try and tune off some distractions. So, can you go for a walk without your music playing or without a podcast playing? Even if that walk is 15 minutes, instead of using your phone first thing in the morning. I'm guilty of that. Can you try to slow it down and, use it after breakfast? I haven't been able to succeed at it, but I need to take my own advice. But all jokes aside, there are tiny habits that you can do to turn off some of those distractions and slip back into the present moment. Number 6 of the tiny micro habits you can do to increase your femininity is to tune into your body. So, feminine energy is all about being in your emotions and being in your body. In astrology, feminine energy is water and earth. The feminine energy knows that the body holds a whole lot of wisdom. So for me, as I started to heal my feminine energy, I discovered how disconnected I was from my body. I had certain habits that were not good for my body. And when I was very tired, or when I was feeling like I was starting to get sick, I would just go on about my day as usual and not giving it the attention that it deserves. I wouldn't take care of myself the way that I do now. And feminine energy and the relationship to your body is so important. So, a tiny micro habit that you can implement today to listen more to your body. For example, asking your body what it needs if you feel a certain way. Try it. Try asking it questions, and you'll be surprised of the things that come up for you. Or, like I said, if you're tired, can you take 5 minutes to meditate, or 5 minutes to focus back in with your breathing instead of going off, get over it. Huh, we have shit to do, things to do. Speak more kindly to yourself. You deserve that. Compliment your body, compliment yourself a little bit more often. I think we're also so programmed to fixate on mistakes or like flaws. And if you can kind of reclaim your power, reclaim your compassion towards yourself, towards your body, by just giving it some compliments, you would do it for other people. So why not do it for yourself? That leads me to the 7th micro habit to tune back into your feminine energy: self care. because the quality of the feminine energy is to nurture ourselves. And what we often see, and I have been definitely guilty of this. I'm a Cancer woman, and my energy is supposed to be nurturing, and it is. But for a very huge chunk of my life, all that nurturing energy went towards others. I would nurture people, help them out to my own detriment. I did not care for myself enough. I didn't nurture myself enough. I neglected myself and kept other people nurtured and kept other people comfortable while I wasn't looking after myself. And why do we feel the need to take care of someone's crusty ass son, but when it comes to ourselves, we neglect? And I think feminine energy is shifting the focus back onto you, and the care and the nurturing back onto you, and loving yourself in ways that you maybe in the past did for other people. I have different videos on this, like how to be a high value woman. I'm talking a little bit more in depth about this. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave the link up there. So a tiny habit that you can do is like doing a little bit of skincare, and not out of rush, like, oh fuck, get this thing to get off my face. Like, no, like I deserve to look after myself. Drink one of your favorite smoothies that's healthy for you. Whatever, what self care looks like to you. For me, self care is taking a bath. I love the water, being in a shower, doing something for you that's just has nothing to do with other people. Something every day that makes you feel good, like that you just do for you. You deserve that. The 8 tiny micro habits to tap into your feminine energy. And this is all about not taking everything so damn serious. I swear, we are always so harsh and we take life so seriously. And feminine energy is about play. It's about being a little bit delulu as well, being a little bit delusional instead of being so logical and serious all the time. If something goes wrong, instead of cussing the hell out of everything, and I do this too, but can you at times, like depending on obviously how big it is that happened, but little things, can you like laugh at yourself? Or when you don't get something right, can you laugh at yourself a little bit and not be so harsh, be a little less harsh? So instead, when you have a pimple, can you just be like, whoop, that time of the month, I guess? Or do you have to go like, I hate it. Like, it's so harsh. And that energy really negatively impacts your self-worth. So that leads me to number 9. The last two that I have, number 9 and number 10, are relatively small, but really nice to consider tapping you back into your feminine energy as well. So number 9 is about dressing up or doing some makeup. And again, you don't need makeup or to dress a certain way to be in your feminine energy. Some people don't feel necessarily that much better or feel like it's a form of self-care for them to do so. And that's okay too. You don't have to. But feminine energy loves beauty, and it loves to just spend some time with yourself, making you feel good about yourself. And sometimes makeup, or if it is a face mask or whatever it might be, can kind of tap you back into like, ooh, like I'm taking care of myself, I'm looking good. And that energy will empower you in your feminine energy, feeling good within yourself. So that leads me to the 10th and final micro habit of increasing your femininity. Smile at a stranger. When I was young, I swear to God, I would walk down the street like this. Like, my face would just be so unapproachable, and I would listen to, you wouldn't believe it, but I would listen to some punk rock music in my ears, and my whole energy was just, leave me the F alone, don't talk to me, or I'll rip you a new one. That was my energy. And sometimes we need that energy. It's a bit of our dark feminine. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But as I tapped into a little bit more of my light feminine, where I became a little bit more, I guess, approachable and a bit more kind of allowing my aura to be a little bit more friendly and open, it really helped me tap into that side of my feminine energy. So again, sometimes feminine energy is don't approach me, and it is that way. It's a little bit more of your dark feminine, where your light feminine, like smiling at a stranger, like especially like some women that walk past, like I've become more accustomed to just smile at them, and it creates an openness, a unity, and it often makes me feel so good when I smile at someone and they smile back, or they give me a little compliment and then I give them a little compliment and I go, yes, yes. It's a very sweet energy. So that is my final tip to increase your feminine energy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will link some more videos for you guys to watch, and I'm sending you my love, and thank you so much for being here with me today. Bye.